On today's episode of Undercover Boss, the CEO of Baja Fresh, the country's leading chain in fast food casual Mexican dining, goes undercover. This CEO will trade in his countryside estate for a cash register.
Oh, press the wrong button. ¿Dónde está manager? I need some help.
And by working on the front lines, this Korean immigrant will find out what needs improving in his business.
All this should be under 40 degrees.
Temperatures are very critical to what we do.
And along the way, he gets some unsettling news.
Yes, I had to work very hard in my life, but there's a lot of people that work very hard in their life.
All this and much more exciting reveals on today's episode of Undercover Boss. Baja Fresh is one of the largest chains for Mexican food in the United States, having more than 400 restaurants operating in 29 states, and leading this $300 million a year business is CEO David Kim.
I'm David Kim, I'm the CEO of Baja Fresh.
Baja Fresh differentiate themselves from other similar chains as they don't use any processed food and always use fresh ingredients every day.
We use fresh ingredients every day. We make everything from scratch.
The company has been growing very fast and has become the largest Mexican food chain. David was born in South Korea, and he traveled the world because his father was a diplomat and they didn't live in one country for more than 2 years. They finally settled in the United States 30 years ago, and David's parents worked very hard to support him and his siblings, and he learned really good work ethic from his family. After graduating from college, David worked in different industries, working different jobs and getting experience. And 5 years ago, he and his brother and some investors bought Baja Fresh, and since then, David has led and grown the company to great success. As the CEO, David doesn't get to spend time with people in the front lines and see what their issues are, so he tells his board members that he'll be going undercover to learn what the issues are from the inside. He'll be going undercover as Ken, a contestant on a reality show, competing to win a job at Baja Fresh, and his employees will be asked to rate his performance and recommend the best position that he would fit in. For his first job, he travels to Las Vegas, Nevada to work under the general manager.
Today I'm at the Baja Fresh in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'll be working as a general manager.
And this restaurant has been performing well, and he wants to see what they're doing that's making them more successful than the other restaurants. He meets up with Jose, and for the first task, he teaches him how to make a sauce, and Jose was very thorough and cares about cleanliness very much, and if David touches his face, he makes him wash again before touching the ingredients.
You already touched your mustache. Let's go back again. Take out your gloves. Throw them out. The trash is over here. Wash your hands.
As they work together, he learns that Jose is taking night classes so he can further his career and finally get his own restaurant.
So what do you want to do afterwards?
Have my own restaurant.
Later they work on the floors and dishes, and he sees although Jose is a great manager, he likes helping his employees with every job. He also learns that Jose has great relationships with both his employees and customers, and that most of the customers are regulars who love coming there as they love the customer service. And David realizes that this is why the store is performing well and is happy that Jose is working for him.
That is what defines great service in our business, in any business.
The next day, the boss travels to Cypress, California to work as a cashier.
Today I'm at the Cypress store. I'll be doing the cashier job.
And he meets up with Anthony, who teaches him how to operate the cash register. But David gets overwhelmed by how many combinations there were.
A lot of boxes here.
Oh, yes.
How do you memorize all these?
It's easy. Actually, just get to know the menu.
But Anthony explains everything to him and they start accepting customers. He sees Anthony is very fast and really good at his job, but when he tries to follow, David struggles to keep up with the pace, and Anthony then leaves to get a call, and David was left with the customers, and since he didn't know what food was available at the time or not, the other workers help him out.
Do we have the nacho burrito? See?
But the customers begin to pile up. The manager then comes shortly after and gives the customers that had to wait free coupons, which David really likes.
Promise you, because you said that here, I'm gonna give you a free burrito.
On their break, he learns that Anthony immigrated with his family 2 years ago, and despite being only 20 years old, he's the only one that works and supports his family as they're struggling financially. David is touched by the story and couldn't keep his emotions.
Can't believe what he's going through at his age, to be able to take that burden on to take care of his family.
And they then pray together before ending their day. For his next job, he travels to Arizona to work as a burrito chef.
Today we're at the Mesa, Arizona Baja Fresh.
and he meets up with Rami and he takes him in the kitchen and teaches him how to make the burrito, but as they start, David sees the cooking machines were partially broken and Rami had to use an external heat detector to keep the food in the perfect temperature.
So we're gonna take this, stick it kind of in between everything, and wait for that number to go down. All this should be under 40 degrees.
This was unacceptable to David, and he goes out on a break and calls the operations manager and tells him about the situation and orders him to fix it immediately.
I'm not going to apologize for my disappointment, but this is not how we run restaurants here.
Rami then gets a call shortly after and is told that it will get fixed. For the rest of the day, David learns how to make a burrito and he struggles a little, but he finishes good at the end of the day.
I think I'm good. You feel confident? I feel okay. There's no beans in the hole tomorrow.
Okay.
For his last job, he travels to Idaho to work as a manager.
Today we're in Boise, Idaho, at one of our successful Baja Fresh restaurants.
And he meets up with Carrie and they start their first task by checking the newly imported fruits and making sure that everything is up to quality.
Avocados. So we're just gonna open them up, look sure the quality is nice, make sure that they're fresh and green.
And she then takes him on the road for a delivery, which he didn't know that the restaurant did. He was very impressed by Carrie taking initiative and plans to incorporate her ideas to other locations as well.
That we're doing delivery in a very competitive environment like today. That was something that I really want to explore.
On their way back, she tells him more of her ideas and what she implemented to make her restaurant one of the most highly performing restaurants in the whole company. David's undercover time finally comes to an end and he invites his employees to his office to reveal his true identity. But first, he has a meeting with board members and shares his experience with them and tells them that he wants to give a franchisee spot for a deserving employee, and they all agree with his plans. First in was Carrie, and he tells her that she has great ideas and asks her to come to headquarters to an all-expense-paid work visit so she can share her ideas with the team there, and then tells her that he started a college fund for her daughter.
I had the opportunity for Baja Fresh to know that we work hard, and it means a lot for somebody to notice. And
next in was Rami, and he tells him that he reminds him of himself, and he then offers to mentor him and offers to pay for his school and gives him $5,000 so he can spend time with his dad on a golf course.
It's a privilege somebody wants to take the time and work with me and try and make me a better person, and never in a million years would I think that would ever happen.
Next in was Anthony, and he tells him that he was very moved with his story and gives him $15,000 to help with his family's financial issues.
And this clearly shows that I was wrong, that this was God working wonders, that this blessing is like a miracle for me.
Last in was Jose, and he tells him that he was a great manager and tells him that he'll be giving him his own franchise restaurant and also offers to mentor him and teach him how to run a business.
I'm going to give you your very own franchise that's worth $50,000.
In the weeks since, Carrie's 2-year-old now has her very own scholarship fund, and Anthony's mother can now relocate to be closer to her son, and Rami is enrolling in accounting courses, helping further his dream of restaurant ownership. And last but not least, Jose will open his very own Baja Fresh in Las Vegas in August. And that is how today's episode of Undercover Boss wraps up.